Self-love is not selfish, it's essential. We've been conditioned to think that prioritizing ourselves is wrong, that putting our needs first somehow makes us less caring or considerate of others. But here's the reality: when you don't love yourself, you operate from a place of lack. You try to pour from an empty cup, constantly giving without ever filling yourself back up. This leads to burnout, resentment, and a deep sense of dissatisfaction. Think about it. If you're running on fumes, how can you possibly be your best self for others? How can you give your best energy, love, and attention to your family, your job, your passions if you're not taking care of the person at the center of it all? You can't. Self-love is the foundation that everything else is built on. It's like the roots of a tree. Without strong roots, the tree can't stand tall, no matter how much sunlight or water it gets. Loving yourself doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you recognize your own value and worth. You deserve the same care, attention, and kindness that you give to others. When you practice self-love, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges. You have the strength, clarity, and resilience to navigate tough situations, to set healthy boundaries, and to pursue your goals without constantly feeling drained or unappreciated. And let's be clear, self-love isn't about vanity or arrogance. It's about understanding that your needs, your well-being, and your happiness are just as important as anyone else's. It's about giving yourself permission to take up space, to make mistakes, to rest, and to grow. When you truly love yourself, you're not seeking external validation to feel whole. Instead, you create a solid foundation within yourself that no one else can shake. Others how to treat you. This simple truth is often overlooked, but it holds incredible power. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how everyone else in your life will treat you. If you consistently put yourself last, if you don't respect your own boundaries, if you're harsh and critical towards yourself, you're sending a message to the world that this is acceptable. People will follow your lead. They will take cues from how you value yourself, and if you're showing that your needs don't matter, they'll start to believe that too. Think about it: when you're confident, when you speak kindly to yourself, when you protect your time and energy, you create an invisible line that others can't cross. You're telling them, this is how I deserve to be treated. On the other hand, if you're constantly saying yes when you really want to say no, allowing yourself to be overworked, overlooked, or mistreated, people will mirror that behavior because they see you doing it to yourself. It's not about blaming others, it's about recognizing that you have more control over how you're treated than you might think. Every time you allow disrespect, every time you dismiss your own feelings, you're training others to do the same. But when you prioritize your own self-worth, when you set clear boundaries and stick to them, you elevate the standard for how others interact with you. Self-love drives confidence. When you truly love yourself, you're no longer looking outward for validation. You don't need others to tell you you're worthy, because you've already decided that for yourself. This inner foundation of self-acceptance creates a sense of certainty in who you are and what you can accomplish. You begin to trust your instincts, your decisions, and your abilities because they're rooted in self-respect and belief in your own worth. When you appreciate and accept yourself, flaws and all, you stop wasting energy trying to be someone you're not. You stop comparing yourself to others because you realize that their success or approval doesn't diminish your own value. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from being authentic and comfortable in your own skin. Self-love allows you to embrace your uniqueness. And in doing so, you stand taller, speak more clearly, and pursue your goals without second-guessing yourself. It also means that you're not afraid to take risks or face challenges because you know that regardless of the outcome, your self-worth remains intact. Failure doesn't feel like a reflection of your value, it's just part of the learning process. This gives you the courage to go after what you want, to step outside your comfort zone, and to keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. When you love yourself, you're not afraid to show up fully because you're no longer worried about what others might think. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. It's about knowing your limits, understanding what you need to maintain your emotional, mental, and physical well-being, and being unapologetic about protecting those needs. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out or being difficult. They're about creating a space where you can thrive. When you set boundaries, you're sending a clear message to yourself and to others that your time, energy, and peace matter. You're acknowledging that you deserve respect, and that includes respecting your own limits. When you constantly say yes to things that deplete you or allow others to overstep, you end up sacrificing your own well-being. You feel drained, resentful, and overextended. Setting boundaries prevents that. It empowers you to take control of your life, to choose where and how you invest your time and energy. Boundaries aren't about being selfish, they're about self-preservation. They give you the freedom to prioritize what matters most to you without guilt or explanation. And here's the thing: people who respect you will honor your boundaries. If someone doesn't respect the limits you've set, that's a reflection of their priorities, not yours. Setting boundaries also helps you filter out relationships and situations that are unhealthy or toxic, allowing you to focus on the people and activities that uplift and support you. It's an act of self-care, a way of showing yourself that you are worthy of protection, worthy of saying no when it's necessary, and worthy of living a life that aligns with your values and needs. Self-love silences self-doubt. When you truly embrace and value yourself, the negative voice inside your head loses its power. Self-doubt thrives in the absence of self-acceptance. It feeds on insecurity, fear, and the constant need for external validation. But when you cultivate self-love, you create a solid foundation of inner belief that is unshakable by outside opinions or circumstances. You begin to trust your own judgment and instincts because you know deep down that you are enough as you are. Self-doubt often creeps in when you're overly critical of yourself, when you expect perfection or compare yourself to others. But self-love allows you to replace that harsh inner critic with compassion. It reminds you that it's okay to make mistakes, that growth is part of the journey, and that your worth isn't determined by your achievements or how others perceive you. This shift quiets the self-doubt because you stop questioning whether you're capable or deserving. You already know you are. When you love yourself, you give yourself permission to try, to fail, and to keep going without the constant fear of not being good enough. You recognize that your value isn't conditional on getting everything right. This inner acceptance silences the nagging voice that says you can't or you're not good enough, because self-love tells you you can and you are. It creates an internal sense of certainty that drowns out the noise of doubt, allowing you to move through life with greater confidence and peace. You are worthy as you are. You don't need to change, achieve, or improve to be deserving of love, respect, or happiness. Your worth isn't tied to what you accomplish, how you look, or how others perceive you. It's inherent, something you were born with, and it doesn't diminish or increase based on external factors. Society often conditions us to believe that we need to earn our worth through success, productivity, or by meeting certain standards, but the truth is you are already enough. When you embrace this idea, it takes the pressure off. You stop chasing after validation from others, thinking that once you hit a certain goal or reach a certain level, you'll finally be worthy. Self-worth doesn't come from the outside, it's something you cultivate from within. It's the understanding that you are deserving of love, compassion, and kindness just because you exist, not because of anything you've done or will do. This recognition that you are worthy as you are gives you the freedom to be authentic. You stop trying to fit into molds or live up to expectations that don't align with who you truly are. It allows you to show up fully, to take up space without feeling like you need to apologize for your imperfections or prove your value to anyone. It also enables you to approach life with a sense of calm and confidence, because you're no longer waiting for someone or something to grant you permission to feel good about yourself. You understand that you are enough right now in this moment. Growth comes from self-compassion. It's through kindness and understanding toward yourself that real progress happens. When you're compassionate with yourself, you create a safe internal space where you're allowed to make mistakes, learn, and improve without the fear of harsh judgment or criticism. Instead of beating yourself up for falling short, you approach your setbacks with patience and curiosity, recognizing that challenges are part of the growth process. This gentle approach opens the door for deeper learning because you're not consumed by guilt or shame. You're focused on how you can evolve and do better next time. Self-compassion also means treating yourself with the same empathy and care you would offer a close friend. When a friend struggles, you likely offer words of encouragement and support. You remind them that one failure doesn't define their worth, and you help them see the lessons they can take from the experience. Self-compassion is about extending that same grace to yourself. It's about accepting that you are human, that growth takes time, and that perfection isn't the goal, progress is. When you adopt a mindset of self-compassion, you stop seeing your struggles as proof that you're not good enough. Instead, you view them as opportunities to learn more about yourself and to strengthen your resilience. This shift allows you to keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned, because you're not paralyzed by self-criticism. Growth isn't about being hard on yourself, it's about giving yourself the room to expand, adapt, and grow in a supportive and nurturing way. Self-love creates resilience. When you truly love and value yourself, you develop a strong inner foundation that helps you bounce back from adversity. It's not that challenges or setbacks don't affect you, they do, but with self-love, you have a built-in sense of worth and strength that isn't easily shaken by external circumstances. You're able to recover from disappointments, rejections, or failures more quickly because your self-worth isn't dependent on those outcomes. Instead of crumbling under pressure, you rely on your inner confidence and self-compassion to get back up and keep moving forward. Loving yourself means that you trust your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. You know that no matter what happens, you'll treat yourself with kindness and care rather than harsh criticism. This internal support system allows you to face difficulties head-on, knowing that even if things don't work out as planned, you'll still be there for yourself. It's this self-assuredness that makes you more resilient in the long run. When you're anchored in self-love, the opinions of others or the setbacks you encounter lose their power to derail you because your sense of worth comes from within. Moreover, self-love helps you embrace the learning process in every challenge. You're not afraid to fail or make mistakes because you understand that growth and resilience are built through those very experiences. You give yourself the grace to stumble, knowing that each setback is temporary and that you have the inner strength to navigate through it. Self-love provides the emotional and mental stamina to face life's ups and downs with a sense of balance and perseverance. Self-love transforms relationships. When you cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself, it sets the tone for how you interact with others. You stop seeking validation and approval from external sources because you've already established a deep sense of worth and acceptance within. This shift allows you to engage with others from a place of strength rather than neediness. You're no longer looking for someone to complete you. Instead, you approach relationships as an opportunity to share love, support, and connection. When you love yourself, you're more likely to establish and enforce healthy boundaries. You know what you will and won't tolerate, and you communicate those limits clearly. This not only protects your own well-being, but also fosters mutual respect in your relationships. Others will respond positively when they see that you respect yourself. It encourages them to treat you with the same level of respect. You create an environment where open communication thrives, where conflicts can be addressed constructively, and where both parties feel valued and heard. Moreover, self-love allows you to be more empathetic and compassionate toward others. When you're in tune with your own feelings and needs, you're better equipped to understand and support the feelings of those around you. You're not caught up in your own insecurities, which means you can be present for your loved ones without judgment or distraction. This deeper emotional connection strengthens your relationships, creating bonds that are built on understanding, trust, and shared growth. In addition, self-love empowers you to let go of toxic relationships that drain your energy or compromise your well-being. You start to recognize that you deserve relationships that uplift and inspire you, and you're willing to distance yourself from those that do not. This clarity opens up space for healthier connections to flourish, friendships, partnerships, and family ties that are rooted in mutual support and genuine appreciation. As you transform your relationship with yourself, you naturally attract and nurture relationships that reflect that love and respect.